Welcome back, guys, to the channel. Maverick here with episode 9 of Dorohedoro. So, things are progressing rather nicely from the last episode. We got a ton of information dropped down on us. We learned, well, first of all, Risu is still off on his self-discovery mission, I guess you could say, about which I imagine will eventually lead us to knowing the truth about Kaiman. We got Nikaido, and we now know that she knows how to use time magic. That's confirmed. Well, 99% confirmed, right? And that secret is out, so we'll eventually get to that point, I presume, as well. We've got the Blue Knight coming up, so Shin and Noi, we're also going to be focusing on their story. Apparently they have some old grudges they need to take care of, and so on and so forth. And of course, Kaiman is most probably going to be crashing the party as well. Ebisu is also regaining her memories, so all things are coming together nicely, aren't they? So, let's get into the episode and see what this one has to offer. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Talk about it, extravagance. Is this like Disneyland or something? Oh. Risu. I mean, I think as long as he doesn't bump into En and Shin and Noi and whatnot. Oof. Damn. It's a sniper. You might like want to stay away from places with windows. Alright. I wasn't expecting Risu to show up as well, so now everybody is gonna have fun at the party. We're just missing Nikaido. Who wants to bet whether or not she shows up at the very end there? And she's you know, worried for Kaiman and whatnot, and so she also shows up at the end, and so the whole gang joins to get her back again. Why is this Johnson so small, by the way? I think it's probably a fair guess also to say that Nikaido left the Sorcerer's World because she knew the impact that her magic would have. Are you still in that dress heavy? A ramen shop. No mushrooms? Oh, there we go. That's the mushrooms. So wait, he was actually doing a legit business at that time? Why is he dressed in an... So she was just a naive little girl back then. Oh wait, that was... I didn't even realize that was Shin. Or to become a devil. What? Ooh. What is this world? Yep. Shit. Absolutely cannot use magic for a year. Ooh. Wait, is N the one singing this song? Yeah. I believe it in. Oh, so these two are, holy. Just right there. How did these two survive, like, a blast right at point blank range? Why don't you two just team up? Wow. Oh, and so because he's on... Holy shit. This lower half of the body. Okay, and so that's why Noi, even though she was just a few days from ending her training, it's Abisu's tits. Why are they so intent on getting these two respectively as their partners? Gyoza. Oh, it's a mushroom gyoza. Jeez. Oof. Food wars. By the way, how are these two still alive? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that is... Well, he did say it was food magic. I guess that's technically correct. The best kind of correct. Is that Noi in there? No, wait, what? Yeah, no wait. Oh wait. Does that mean Rusu has his entire body back? He's sleeping. I think that means Risu got his entire body back. Yeah, it's Risu with his full body back. And they just happen to pass by each other. They even saw the crossed eye on each other. He's still sleeping, I guess. They're eating him. Who was going to be his partner? I mean, don't tell me it's gonna be Ibisu. Yeah, it's Ibisu. Oh. Damn. So is she gonna be like forcefully summoned to the world? Yes, that's shocking. I'm not sure I want to eat something made by a cockroach, thank you. Damn. Whoa. Oh wait, this is, yeah, the new ending song. We saw this last episode already. Man, this is a fun episode. Alright, I'm off to read the manga. I'll see you guys after this. Alrighty, this was yet another truly enjoyable episode that we had here. I was quite surprised by the turn of events, and I was basically laughing my ass off at a lot of the stuff that happened. And it's also very nice, right? So at first, when we were starting to talk about Shin and Noi's backstory, I was thinking, huh, are we actually going to be spending another episode, on stuff that's not to do with the current arc, right? But it was indeed compelling in its own right, and it's actually nice to get a chance to see their younger selves, if you will. And actually, particularly for Noi, a few years ago, she looked a lot different than she does right now, right? This is, we only saw a little glimpse of it within the anime, where they show her with the devil, and you can get a sense of the contrast between her height and her build and whatnot. In the past, like a few years ago, she was really a small girl. In fact, I would even venture and call her a schoolgirl, if you will, because with the way she dressed and whatnot, with just long straight hair, or not exactly long, but like medium length straight hair, so on and so forth. And it's just such a stark contrast with how she is now, all buff and muscular and whatnot. In the manga, they actually showed a few photos of her while she was young, and so that was like really a big difference there. So I guess kind of disappointed that they didn't show a little bit more, but that was the case in the manga as well. And we also learned a few quite interesting things, right? Now, obviously, Noi and Shin, okay, fine, I get it, they're a cute couple. That's that, right? But I never knew that the devils actually were elevated to that position by normal sorcerers. So that like changes a lot of things and perceptions that I have about this world completely. But yeah, that was nice. And it also made a nice little segue into two other important events that happened, right? One being Risu getting his body back, and how exactly is that going to work? Like now we got Kaiman and Risu, they're the same. I don't know. At this point, can you really say they're the same person? I feel like this is one of those series where, in the end, they're going to each go their own separate ways. You know, they might have started out from the same, but now they are just two completely different individuals, or something like that, right? Of course, this is all on the theory that Kaiman is Risu, right? Which might not be the case, but still, if it were the case, then we've got a pretty awkward situation on our hands right now. So that's one thing, right? That's one, and also I love how they gotta have that cliche walking past each other and then, taking a look at each other and then moving on, right? And they didn't really comment much on that part as well. I'm not really sure if they had a sense that they were a little bit special to each other, or they merely took notice because both of them had crossed eyes, right? So they thought that this was one of the member of the crossed eyes, and so they need to be careful, etc., etc. So that was a nice segue into that part, which we'll probably get to see in the next few episodes. And then, of course, we also had to have this little segue into the partner selection for Fujita, right? And this is actually something that the anime itself is actually doing faster than the manga. So I went back and read the manga chapters that dealt with this episode, and I don't believe they showed Fujita and never showed Ebisu actually sending out an application for a partner with Fujita, right? And I think if you were anime only, it might have somewhat came out of the blue. But I do read the manga alongside the anime. I read it along with it, and so in the manga, there's actually a lot of these extra stories and whatnot, which show a little bit more of the interactions between En's family, if you will, right? The sort of mafia family that they have, and um, Fujita and Ebisu actually do have quite a few other interactions that we haven't seen in the anime so far. So it's not completely out of the blue. But I will admit I was a bit surprised. You know, I was thinking even up to the last minute that Fujita's partner might be the one who's using food magic, the one who's working along part of Kaiman's acquaintance, right? I thought it was going to be that guy. I didn't really think it would be Ebisu. And I guess the reason for this is because Ebisu, no, she hasn't regained her memories yet. Presumably she might be completely different than what she is right now. And also because there is a sort of a power gap between them, right? Fujita is not a very strong magic user, whereas Ebisu, you can see her mask, that is a mask given by the devil, I believe. And so that means that she is already in the elite in terms of the magic users. So, but I guess their bond is stronger than any sort of status difference, I guess. But indeed, that is interesting. Beyond that, what else do we have? We've got Nikaido, right? So Nikaido, I was thinking, when is she gonna come? So now it seems that she has to come, right? And has done something to her. She's probably going to, I don't know, be abducted or in one way or another come back to the sorcerer world, right? And the manga actually explained a little bit more. The anime was a little bit light on the details, but basically what happens is that so since remember a few episodes back, I think last episode or the episode before that, he kind of went berserk and turned a lot of people into mushrooms, or attempted to turn them into mushrooms, right? And Nikaido was one of the victims of that. Even though she survived the magic, she was hit by the magic. And basically En's magic works on a basis where if he's infected you before, then he can infect you again, right? So and that is a pretty darn that is a pretty darn nasty magic, if you ask me, right? So if you don't die the first time, he always has a way to continue to grow mushrooms out of you and harass you until death. Like that is kind of OP in a sense, right? So basically that was what happens, because Nikaido was already hit by his magic before. He basically controlled it so that mushrooms continued to grow, regrew from her body once again, which we see in the very last scene there. So yeah, and that's basically it. I think that's probably going to be the thing that brings Nikaido back to the sorcerer's world, where we'll have a big reunion of sorts with everybody in the mix, right? I thought that was gonna happen like a few episodes ago when they first went to the Sorcerer's World, but I guess we might be having one big final showdown before the end of this season. So yeah, that's basically it for this episode. Lots of interesting developments, lots of humor, lots of lots of backstory as well, and lots of cool stuff, right? This series, it's just so it's grounded in grimness and darkness and whatnot, but a lot of the stuff that it's doing is so over the top. It's just absurdist humor, right? It's a part where, it's a kind of series where somebody's legs or arms could be chopped off, and then you could actually laugh at the situation because it's sort of funny, right? It's sort of humorous, even though blood is gushing and flying everywhere, and it's not a case where it's like a cartoon where just because you have your arm got crushed or something, that it's going to eventually come back, right? If Noi's not on your side, then that arm is gone, right? So it's just, I don't know. I just love the humor element so much. Like, I think I was especially tickled by the flashback story between Shin and Noi. But the thing that really got me was En singing the theme song. I believe it's called Dream Mushroom. And yes, the voice actor for En did sing that song. I mean, it was in the manga as well. Like, he did specifically mention that there was a song. I never expected him to actually compose and make this song. But I guess that is a luxury that you can afford when you have No Name, the music group, working for you as your music producer for this anime. Since they got a ton of songs, they can whip out one at any time. So why not, right? And I mean, that is just so hilarious, so funny to me. But yeah, so anyways, I really enjoyed this episode. Hopefully the next few ones are going to be great as well, and we will keep the energy all the way to the end. So this is episode 9 of Dorohedoro. This is Maverick. I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.